Hello, welcome back to Bridging the Gap. I'm here with my friend, longtime friend, Mark Thompson. Mark,
Dave, good to see you.
great to have you on
All
here.
righty.
Now, I know I could give you a title, but you have so many titles.
You know, there has been a lot of titles.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
tell people, we've gotten to the age now where it's not about titles. It's about being a servant for the people.
Amen.
I started off as a minister at First Baptist Church.
Yep, I remember those
Or a
days.
deacon. I was a deacon, and then I went to a minister and moved over to Emmanuel Wesleyan Church. And no problem. I just never really wanted to be a pastor. I just wanted to serve.
I understand that one.
And all my buddies, all my friends, all want to be pastors. I just want to serve. So I moved over to Emmanuel Wesleyan Church and worked with Pastor Tom Bunting.
Yes,
And he had this
great man,
program
great
called
man.
Adopt a Block. And it was right up my alley from serving. And people there called me Pastor Mark. And then when Pastor Tom stepped back and his son took over, and his son's name's Mark. So
Hey,
he's
Mark
Pastor
Bunting,
Mark.
right.
So we were getting kind of confused. So I told people, just call me Mark. It's fine. But yeah, we've been over there at Emmanuel now for 14 years.
Wow. Now, you said Adopt a Block.
Yeah,
Tell us a
we'll
little
talk-
bit about Adopt a Block.
Wow, Adopt a Block started off a vision again with Pastor Tom, where it's not new. It came from Reverend Tommy Burnett in Los Angeles, California.
Oh,
They
wow.
had something called the Dream Center. And what they did with the Dream Center, they encompassed everything. They were a holistic approach to people, feeding, shelter, and clothing. And Pastor Tom had that vision because he was always a pastor about being out in the community.
You got to be out there.
You got to be out there.
You got to be out there.
And that's what I enjoyed. So I went over with him, and it started off with just 5 people going around every other Saturday in a little green pickup truck with about 30 bags of food down here, right on the east side, Church Street.
Church Street area.
Naylor, Baker. So our route was Baker, Naylor, Church, and Charles Street.
Wow.
And that's what we did. We kept doing that.
Now, what did you do with them?
We packed food and just went to the doors and knocked on the door and say, "Hey, Emmanuel Wesleyan, we love you. We have some food."
Huh.
This was before, but we did this consistently every other Saturday for years. Pastor Tom retired. He said, "Hey, you take it over." But we grew from having, it was 5 people in that green pickup truck to hundreds of volunteers going out. And we always prayed for a building. Now, here's how long we've been doing this.
Okay.
Hotel Esther was still up.
I remember that place.
Right there on the corner of Church and Naylor. We used to walk the streets delivering food saying, "Oh, Lord, send us a building. Let's have Hotel Esther." That we could do that holistic approach of giving people clothes and shelter and food.
Wow.
Everything kept dropping, kept failing. But I always say, when God closes the door, there's another one just
always opens another
waiting
one.
for you. And little did we know, 2 years ago, there was a building that was in shambles, right there on the corner of Benny Street and Clay Street,
Which is how close to the Hotel Esther.
right around the block. Now, here's what I just like about this story, and I tell people, it was the old Culligan Software building.
Okay.
It was terrible. We were able to purchase it at a very reasonable price, brought in contractors and refurbished it, and now it's our Benny Street outreach. What I tell people is that building was just like you and me before we met Christ.
Ooh, broke down.
Broke
shambled.
down in shambles.
Wow.
But once you meet the Maker, He will remake you.
He is the
and
potter.
that's a whole. That's a.
Well, no,
sermon.
that's good stuff right
So-
there.
So now we have a building, 818 Benny Street, and I just tell you, I had some notes here. Just the past year, we served over 10,000 people have come through our doors
Just last year.
just last year getting food.
Wow.
We've had 262,000 pounds of food that we've been giving away.
262,000.
But here's what's so special about Benny Street, Adopt a Block Outreach. We started a few years ago. It was called a Client Choice Pantry. Because we found when we give people bags of food, they go through it and they say, "I keep this, I throw that away, I keep that." A lot of waste. We want to make people feel empowered.
Sure, sure.
So now we set up what's called a client choice pantry. You come in our building, we love on you and say, hey, here's our pantry. It's called the Bread of Life Pantry. And you can go and pick out the items
Wow.
that you need for your family.
Wow. Wow.
Free. And that's what we do.
Wow. Wow. So during all this, is there any families that actually started coming to your church because of this?
We have some,
Sure.
but you know what we want to do is just love on people and let them know.
The goal was just to be there for them.
But okay, it's funny you should say that. Some people just don't want to go to the big church, and Emmanuel's huge, but it's once you get inside, it's small. But still, some people it's just too big for them. That's why we're going to open up in January a church at Benny Street.
You're in here first.
Stay tuned for that one.
Wow.
And see what we have. So we're going to have, it's not going to be a traditional church, but it's going to be a place for people to come hear the word, get loved on, get food, get what they need. I'm calling it soul food.
I love it.
Food for your
the
soul.
I love it. Love it.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to open that up in January. So we'll hear more about that soon.
Now, I also remember when I was a much younger man, you were actually the director over at the Salvation Army.
Wow. Yeah. You remember those days?
I remember those days. I remember a lot of the young people that didn't have a place to go during the summer. They knew who Mr. Thompson was.
Wow. You know, that was, wow. You remember, I think you had hair.
I did have.
You did have hair.
I did.
But you know, the Salvation Army was such a blessing to me. Because I moved here to the Eastern Shore as a manager with Federal Express, or FedEx. I moved here and I spent I was with FedEx for 25 years. 8 years right here in Salisbury. And then something hit me and said, I got to do more. And that's when I retired from FedEx and took over for, it was called the West Salisbury Youth Club at the time.
I remember that. Wow.
The West Salisbury Youth Club. And it was so ironic, Dave. I can still remember my first day at the club. I retired from FedEx. I went to the West Salisbury Youth Club. I sat in my office, and there was nobody in the building. I mean, they had a latchkey program. That was about it in the afternoon. But nothing was going on. So I'm sitting there, and I got up and started walking around, and I'm praying, saying, Lord, why did I leave FedEx to come here? I took a substantial pay cut. And I walked around, I looked outside, and there was a young boy sitting outside on the playground. It's about 9 o'clock. I still remember the story. And I said, what's he doing there? And I went out, and I brought him in, and I called over I call one of my mentors, Frank Great. He passed on several years ago. And I said, Mr. Great, I got this boy over here. And he said, describe him. He said, I know he is. I'm not going to give the name.
Don't you love how they don't know him by name, but they know by description?
They know him. He came over and got him. And from that day, we started, planted a seed, which was called the New Day Youth Development Center.
Wow.
What we discovered through the local management board was that, and I knew that kids were being, and I wasn't part of the school system at the time. I just came from FedEx. And I said, you know, I've helped mentor kids in the school. But I found what happened is, it's not about the reading, writing, arithmetic.
No.
They don't know social skills. They don't know communication. They don't get along with adults. So we set up with Miss Kathy Townsend, and she was the principal at the time. Another one of my mentors, her and Dr. Margot Handy.
I remember. I know Mrs. Handy.
They really shaped me. But we set up this program.
Maurice Handy's wife.
Yes.
Yes.
We set up this program for when kids were suspended from school. Instead of them sitting home, they came to us at the Salvation Army. If it was 5, 10 days, whatever.
Wow.
And we would work with them on how to get along with people.
This is before Choices.
Oh, well, Choices was, there was some configuration of Choices. But this was more of, when you suspend a child from school and you send them home, what purpose are you serving?
Good point.
They're just sitting at home.
Playing video games while you're at work.
Well, and building up more frustration.
Yep.
So here they came to us, and we had a staff that would work with them. And the best part about it, because we're still doing it at the Salvation Army, doing the after-school program. We had my friend Clarence Hudson, C4C Enterprises. They cook all over the town. But they cooked for our after-school program. And during the day, while the kids were at the building, they would smell home-cooked food.
Wow.
Even some children, the roughest ones, I would send them there with Miss Claire, and she'd make them peel potatoes. She'll make them clean chitlins.
Discipline,
She'll make them clean chitlins.
not chitlins.
Chitlins,
Ooh.
man. But what we found out was we developed a relationship with these children to get them feeling like someone does care. Now,
Absolutely.
we need you to go back and do better. And it worked. We did that program for about 6 years.
Wow.
And that's what we did at the Salvation Army. And from that, we grew all the after-school programs. And,
Wow.
It was amazing until, I left after about 6 years.
You know, it's unique, Mark. I talked to Jermichael, and I like to call him
Yeah.
Mr. Community. But
Mr.
way before Jermichael and myself, you were a great pioneer of this, and a lot of us looked at you as a role model. Now,
Well, we always tell the young ones and Jermichael was one of the little ones
See?
too, young ones. I said, I remember when I came to Eastern Shore, Mr. Billy Jean Jackson Park.
oh wow,
I never met him, but it was Mr. Billy, and now you're getting me. He was the drummer over at elementary school. He passed away too, but I always look at my elders and say, okay, what did they do?
wow.
And we're not their ceiling. We're their floor. Now it's for us to step on them and on their shoulders and go high.
I like that.
And that's what I like to see now is young people. Now I'm to that age. Now I'm looking back, and these young people, Sean Tucker. I remember Sean Tucker was in my program.
We graduated together.
You graduated?
Yeah, last year.
See, you guys. I remember when you were young.
Wow.
So I always try to leave. The best thing you can do, when you talk about titles, it's not about titles. You got to leave a legacy. Do
Amen.
something that people can stand on.
Leave
and
your
grow.
fingerprint on the community.
Yes.
Wow. And I think you have definitely been doing that. I remember you and I spoke one day. You came into a place I was working, and you looked at me and said, you know who you are? You are the agitator
Oh,
of
no.
this
No.
county."
You know how I said it?
What's
I
that?
said, what's in a washing machine these days that cleans clothes? And you thought about it. And I said, what really cleans? It's that agitator.
Wow.
And we need it. You know what's so funny now about that?
What's that?
These new washing machines don't have it.
No, they don't.
That's why the world is such a... There's no one out there shaking it up
No.
to get the dirt off.
That's the truth.
And we need people...
They're going with the flow instead of going against it and making sure everything's...
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you gotta buck the system, and I did it. I always did it and then asked for forgiveness. Sorry about that.
Well,
but that's
no, that's a
what
good thing, you know?
But I want to do what's right. What's moral, what's right. I always would never ask anybody to do anything that's illegal or immoral, or that I wouldn't do.
Right.
And that's how. So that's what we did at the Salvation Army, and then I was so blessed then to go from there to.
You're
school
pastoring
system.
now too, right?
Well, I did for about a year and a half. I'm still, and we're gonna come back to it. But I did that pastoring down in Chrisfield Church, year and a half down there in Chrisfield. Really enjoyed that.
You have the heart for it, brother.
I just love people, and I love ministering to people.
Now, I do want to talk about the school system, but we're going to do that when we come back from our break here in a few seconds. But before we do that, I was talking to the county executive, and I mentioned your name. She said, I just love Mark. What do you know about the county executive?
County Julie Giordano. You know, she's doing a good job.
Yeah.
I know them all.
She stays busy.
You know, people always say, well, who do you vote for? It's not about who I vote for. It's whoever's in office, I work with them.
That part.
I work with them. And then when you're in there, I try to give my advice, what I see. And hopefully, you'll listen. You'll shift it out and say what's good, what's bad. But she's working.
She's definitely.
She's working.
She went from a teacher to running the county. That's a big
It's
change.
really...
Well, not, in a lot of ways it's not. She'll let me know, well, no, you're still dealing with people.
But people in any elected office, and I can see maybe even one day you get there. Don't change. You got to be yourself. And one thing it's about, you got to work for what's right. And sometimes it's not about who paid and got you in there.
That part.
That's what So that's why I stay apolitical. I stay out of the political. The most political I ever got, I was president of the school board.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I was president of the school board. And I think my biggest accomplishments on the board was raising the GPA to 2.0 for extracurricular activities.
Yeah, because it was 1.6 when I was in school.
1.56.
Wow, I didn't know about that part.
It was so low.
1.56.
And I see the kids come over and play with my son, and they go, "We want to be D1 guards." And I said, to go to a Division I school,
You got to have
a good grade. You got to have above a 2.5. So we did that. We passed some other discipline things, but I just enjoyed my time in the school system. Opened my eyes, and it made me say, I want to be a principal.
Huh. Okay.
So I served my 5 years, came off. Then it was so fun, ironic how it worked. I came off the board, and they said, you're going to have to wait a year to be completely removed from the board. And I was like, now you tell me. But it's okay. So during that time, oh my goodness, I worked at One Stop Job Market teaching GED. I ran the summer camp at First Baptist Church. Almost closed up Salvation Army at the time, but kids came over to me.
Everybody came over there.
Everybody came here.
Wow.
I did that. I'm trying to think, what else did we do? Worked at Del Mar. I love Del Mar Middle High School. Isla Preston, if you're watching. Shout out to Isla. Another one. I've had a lot of great people
And
supporting me.
I've noticed that you do a lot of pictures of people that's from the past that you've had an impact on that you run back into.
I always just want to say, you know something? You meant a lot to me when I met you. And now I see that you're grown and what you're doing. So I worked at Del Mar Middle and High School, long-term sub, guidance counselor. And then I worked for Rural Cares. It was wraparound program. I was a cultural competency coordinator. I can't even say it.
I was curious, what is that? But that sounds like, okay.
But it was very interesting. How do we meet people where they are? You know, it's like at Department of Social Services, most of their flyers at the time showed women. But what about a single man?
Ooh.
Cultural competency, you have to know how to reach everybody. And this was several years ago. I was a DMC coordinator for the district, the Disproportionate Minority Contact Coordinator.
Thank you. Now, I know they didn't mean Run DMC.
Not Run DMC. I say
Okay.
no, not Run DMC. And that is working. They were in every county in the Maryland, and we worked with the county and schools to find out why there's disparity of youth of color in the juvenile system. And we can come back and talk about schools in a little bit after your
Yes.
break.
Well, we're going to go ahead and go to break. Thank you, because this is just so much great information here. I almost don't even want to go to break, but this is awesome. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.